off, we'll start off with the right word. But I'm going to start off the live stream. Bryden, Shivin, Marcel, Navin. If any of you guys are watching, I promise our friends I'll give them a quick shout out. So they might be joining the live stream in a bit. If they don't, then well, not that fast. Nonetheless, I'm going to do another one of these videos where I'm explaining to you guys like my recording process. If you look here, some ground rules quickly. So I have like my video ideas here. I have my like second phone here, so I have like a camera so I can shoot on. Then yeah, I just like do it in a nice tutorial room on my campus. I'm going to lean my phone on that in a bit. But yeah, this is just to inspire new YouTubers to come to the scene, because I know for myself in particular, but most people I know, they don't want to start a YouTube channel purely because it seems like this very intimidating thing where you feel like you can be judged and all of that. And I don't want to lie, that is fact, you are going to be judged. But I want to show you that the behind the scenes is not smooth. Like my videos don't look smooth behind the scenes, and probably even the finished version of it doesn't. But I think it's important for you to get out of your shell, try new things. And I mean, I'm just going to do it over the years as well. Yes, it's great to be trying new things and all that, but the YouTube thing, as you've probably seen, can also be quite a lucrative thing. So you're kind of losing out on a nice stream of income by not even just dipping your hands for a few months into this YouTube thing. Now, openly speaking, for me, I plan to make this like my main stream of income in a few years' time. That is my goal and vision. It's far from that now, but that's my goal and vision. So I hope I can encourage more people to do the same sort of thing. If you don't know who I am already, I'm Sai Rajab. I have this YouTube channel where I talk about self-improvement. So I mostly focus on religion, relationships, fitness, and mindset. And this, you could argue, falls more into the mindset thing, where I'm basically just help you get out of your shell, start your own YouTube channel, explore more of life. But yeah, I'm going to be diving into a few videos now, talk you through my recording process when I remember I have a live stream. When I did my last stream, I actually kind of forgot I was on camera towards the end, I can't lie. But every now and then I will also go back to the live stream. I'll try to be better at that today. But I hope you enjoy. I'm trying to make sure you guys have a proper view of me. That's a bit... I'm sure that's good enough. I'm going to talk you through my ideas in a bit. See, the colors change here, but I apologize if that bugs you guys a bit. I'm going to be investing a better camera setup and all of that. I do want to get some proper source of income first, but that will be improving in the coming months. That's in the pipeline. Okay, so basically I have just ideas. I choose at any given moment what I'm going to record, which is quite nice. I record around about 10 to 15 videos in a singular setting. That's what works better for me. You might find something different for yourself, depending on your niche and all of that as well. So if you look at this one now, I'm going to be speaking about something called an ingredient called aspartame, and there's also something else called a sulfur-MK. It's in a lot of drinks and foods and all that we have. So I'm going to be discussing that to give you a heads up, but you'll see a lot of times, I do all my recordings in one take, which is what works best for me. Chances are 99% of people would prefer to have edits. Just for me, it works better to do it in one take. But you'll see, even with me doing it in one take, oftentimes my first or even my second take is not quite how I want it. So I keep going back, stopping my video, all of that. But you'll see that now. Let me get my camera angles right here. You guys can sort. I'm good enough in the frame. I'm not going to fuss too much about the visual quality of this, as long as you guys get the general idea. So boys, this really isn't spoken about enough. The reality is, okay, see, first take, I didn't think that was gripping enough, and also still trying to get my mind wrapped around exactly what I want to deliver to the audience. So it's these sort of things that you figure out as you speak. So boys, this really isn't spoken about enough. This literally lowers your sperm count. So reduces the likelihood of you having children one day, but it also lowers your testosterone. So like it lowers your muscle gaining ability, it lowers the chances of you like being all adventurous, all of these sort of things. And we get in there. This is how the text thing will work. So boys, this really isn't spoken about enough. It literally lowers your sperm counts, but it also lowers your testosterone. A lot of us care about our testosterone because like, yeah, it gives you nice gains, it feels cool to have like high testosterone, boosts your mood, all of that. It also does make you more motivated, it increases the likelihood of you being like a bigger risk taker, all of that. So there's a lot of benefits to testosterone, but you probably already know that. Sperm count though, most of us like have a general idea that we need high sperm counts, but you haven't really thought about why. Do you want to have children one day? You probably do. So you probably need healthy sperm, good sperm counts, all of that. But there's literally these two ingredients I'm going to be speaking about that will lower both your testosterone and your sperm count. And you're probably eating it right now. So I have like a list of things here. It's called aspartame and sulfame K. Probably haven't like really seen it before, but like check your ingredients list, you'll see a lot of things. I have a list of things where it's like commonly found in. And that's now the final one of my takes. I now have like a nice flow state of what I want to speak about. So now I'm actually going to dive into what I would imagine would be my proper take. If it's not, it's not. I mean, I have more or less 3 to 4 hours that I'm going to be chilling here recording videos. So no pressure. This is what I advise you to do yourself as well. Set out a nice long period of time so you can like ramp up and get into things. So boys, this really isn't not the take I wanted. So boys, this really isn't spoken about enough. This will literally lower your testosterone and also lower your sperm counts. It also isn't good for your health in general. I'll get into what it is in a bit. I need to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger. But you probably know why you want high testosterone. Yeah, it gives you nice gains, but it also gives you more motivation. It gives you like better mood, increases the possibility of you taking risks. All of those like cool masculine stuff. Spoke about as much, but you probably have the general idea. You want high sperm counts, so you have healthier children, and honestly, just increase the sheer likelihood of you having children at all. So even that in itself, you want high sperm count, you want high testosterone. Now you might have heard of ingredients called sulfame K and aspartame. If you haven't, trust me, you're probably having it today. I have like a nice list of things here that has it in, but literally almost everything has these ingredients in. So like toothpaste has it in, chewing gum has it in, protein powders, I'll get into protein powders in a bit though. Protein powders has it in, cough syrups has it in, yogurt has it in, cereal has it in, and then like, yeah, your usual suspects like fizzy drinks, ice cream, dairy, those sort of things also has it in. Now, I want to circle back to the protein powder very quickly though. Protein powder is typically like your sweetened ones. So aspartame and sulfame K, these are basically just sweeteners. So instead of putting in sugar, companies have started putting these sweeteners. Especially if you look at like diet cold drinks and all of that, they've started putting this instead of sugar. And yes, it is non-calorie or like low calorie sometimes. So yes, it is going to like lower your fat percentage of that, which is all good. But in reality, it has a bigger downside in other respects. So it's a matter of which is the less of two evil. Like, would you rather have like some extra fat through the sugar? You shouldn't be having that much sugar in the first place, but let's say you haven't sugar. Do you want to lower your actual calorie intake, or do you want to like lower your testosterone and sperm counts? Personally, for me, I would rather lower my actual like fat percentage or increase that a bit, but that's a side rant. Now, the problem is, aspartame in particular. I'm going to get into sulfame K in a bit, but aspartame, that lowers your testosterone, it can lead to kidney damage. And then it gives you like mood swings and all of that. This depends on the person, so it's not like it's going to give everyone mood swings, but it has shown in like some significant studies to give you mood swings. So like a lot of people are saying like they have like depression and all of that, and they could. But it probably is also just that their diet is screwed up. Like I'm not even talking about like sulfame K and aspartame now. These things in general, whether it's even like, I'm going to sound really crazy now, but even bread. Think about it. If you look at the ingredients in bread, like I'm sure most people watching this now already knows seed oils are bad for you. At least the bread I'm getting like the shops by me in South Africa, if you look at the ingredient list, For some reason, there's seed oils in that. Why on earth is there seed oils in bread? And it's these small things where, unfortunately, we are at a state that we need to like investigate and analyze every single ingredient on the stuff that we buy. Because maybe I'm just stupid, but most of the ingredients on the stuff I'm buying, I do not know what they are. And for me, that's the first bad sign. Why is it this big word that I literally have never heard of in my life? So I go and Google search, and sometimes, like 10% of the time, it's something that's like perfectly fine, fair enough, I don't mind having it. But 90% of the time, I find something like, again, aspartame or self-MK, where it's like, well, hold up, this thing is really bad for you. And I really think this is why, like, obviously not the main reason even, but it's a big reason why a lot of men these days are like depressed. A lot of men are like having suicidal thoughts, they're lacking motivation, they want to stay in bed the whole day and do nothing. I think it's largely based on your diet. Now, the solution to this, as a check your ingredients list, or even go simpler, this is what I've done in fact. Just have the same meals every single day, more or less. Sure, it's gonna get boring, but honestly, my productivity is through the roof ever since I started doing this. Like you probably, if you just go back on my YouTube channel, I've uploaded a video every single day for over 6 months now. I'm a university student, I'm freelancing doing video editing, coding. I also do surveys on the side. I literally have, I wouldn't like want to toot my own horn and all of those things, but I would imagine that my productivity is in the top 1%. Even if like I'm a 22-year-old man, for my age group, it's probably even higher than like top 1%. Because a lot of guys my age aren't doing much of these guys around me. Anyway, that's a separate matter, I don't want to get into my ego. What I want to speak to you now about like restricting your diet. What I'd have for breakfast every day, 3 eggs. I eat the egg shell as well, I made a video on that, but consider eating the egg shell, but cook it first, that's the LDR of that. But they also have like a protein powder that doesn't have any of these like nonsense sweeteners in it. I know what every single ingredient is. If you want to like even make it simpler for yourself, just have pure 100% whey. That's not what I do, I'm not gonna lie. I have a mass gainer because I'm a bit skinny. But if you want to like fully down in your productivity, literally just have 100% pure whey as your protein powder. I tend to have a protein powder with my eggs in the morning. Then afternoon for lunch, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes increase your testosterone, good stuff. And then I also have typically half a chicken, so like 4 pieces of chicken. Supper or dinner, that I tend to eat with my family, so I have whatever they're eating. But even they are restricted, so like literally, like we have a lot of curry, so I have the curry, but lower the amount of gravy I have, and I have no rice or close to no rice. Rice isn't all that bad, but it's a bit processed, so it kind of impacts on your productivity. But in all honesty, I wouldn't go that strict on the rice. It comes down to like the naan breads and the rotis and all of that if you're like a brown guy like me. Then avoid those things. But if you're having like the usual Western sort of diet for like your dinners, I would avoid the pasta. Pasta is not going to help you out. I said avoid the bread. Generally, you want to have a few veggies, even that, don't go overboard. And you want to have a lot of fats. Fats now gets a bad rap, but you probably see movements in the space, like even in the health space, where they're finding out that, hey, fat actually wasn't that bad for us. So I generally have a lot of butter. Just be careful with the butter. A lot of butters have vegetable fats. You want to find a butter that's literally 2 ingredients. It has cream and it has salt. That's all you want in your butter. And then you can have stuff that has ghee. Ghee is also like basically like butter. Don't use any oil unless it's olive oil. Olive oil is fine. And don't have stuff that has like seed oil or even vegetable fat oil. None of those things you want. In my country, at least I believe this would be an international thing. You get what you call spray and cook. So it's like you use this greasy spray thing that makes it not stick, basically. Don't use that either. That typically is made with seed oils. Don't have any like crumb stuff or processed stuff in general have seed oils. So I know I'm sounding quite extreme and this start off as a video on like self-MK and aspartame, and I still do think that's big stuff that you must avoid. But it goes deeper than that. You need to really dial in what you're eating. I do think there's a bit of a placebo to this in the sense that if you like keep it in your mind that, hey, I had like this bad thing yesterday, my productivity is going to be down today, then it's actually going to be lower than what it otherwise would have been. So don't get crazy about this. I'm actually going to be making a video soon about how You mustn't over-optimize the self-development. This is something I'm guilty of, because I want you to imagine this quickly, leading into that video. But think about this. Imagine the student that has his mind focused on optimizing the small things, so like sleep schedule, eating schedule, all of that. So he's optimizing all the small things, and yeah, sure, he's going to get good marks. But imagine on the other side, a student who's just focusing on getting good marks. Naturally, by focusing on getting good marks, or good grades, I know some places call it grades, you do know that students probably can do better because you focus on getting good grades, and in focusing on getting good grades, he's naturally going to do all the optimizing anyway. So I think in like the self-development space, we do approach a bit backwards. We are instead focusing on optimizing the minor things like sleep and all of that. And that's good. But I think we should instead be focusing on the end result. So in other words, what's the end result here? We want to be productive young men, and we want to be healthy young men. So by just focusing on those things, we can optimize everything else. But we should be optimizing everything else to get the end result. If you get where I'm coming from, I'll be diving into that more in a future video though. With this said, bros, bit of a longer video, but I'll see you in the next one to become a better man. Right. This seems to be going well. Just checking my messages. Apologies for my hand covering your faces. I'm really up in your face. That's okay. Yeah, apologies guys, I wanted to check a few messages quickly. Sweet, so one video down. Yeah, just to introduce you guys to the next topic, I want to talk literally how I ended off my last video about how I'm in self-development. If you're not a self-development guy, you probably wouldn't fully like know where I'm coming from here. But we have this tendency to over-optimize everything. Like Hamza, and like I'm not mocking him, I think this was good advice from him. But he spoke about the fact that you need like 8 hours of sleep and all of that. And that's true. I stick by that till this day. I get 8 hours of sleep literally every night. But I think we're approaching it the wrong way. We are approaching it from the angle of saying, okay, we're going to fix our sleep, but because we fix our sleep, we're going to achieve all these things. And I think that's a backwards approach. So I'm going to speak about like how to fix that in this video. Other than you, like this caviar has been like caviar little brother by myself. It's been a nice vibe. It's lately occurred to me that we are literally doing self-development backwards. We're doing it all wrong. So like you probably watched Hamza or any of these big self-development YouTubers telling you, eat clean, you need to sleep well, you need to do all of these optimizations in your life. And believe me, those optimizations are good. I actually stand by most of these optimizations. But it occurred to me, we are doing it completely backwards. I want to give you this like image for a second. Imagine now you have this really smart guy in your class. He's getting the top grades, getting good grades. This again, you see the takes, but yeah. I'm just thinking how I want to start this. So boys, a bit of an unusual video from me especially. But it's recently occurred to me that we've been doing self-development completely wrong. So I want to start off by like talking about Hamza, and like this is actually not me mocking Hamza for once. But like he started this thing of us optimizing our sleep, optimizing our diet, optimizing all of these things in our life. And frankly, I think that is brilliant advice. I genuinely do. It's stuff I follow myself. But it's lately occurred to me we are doing it backwards. So I want you to think about this for a moment. Imagine you have this very smart guy in your class. He's getting the top grades at your school, and he's just genuinely an intelligent young man. But how do you imagine he's going about his academics? Do you imagine he's like sitting there like, okay, I need this perfect study schedule, I need to like, I'm just not getting like the grip I want today. It's fine, I haven't recorded in a few days, so I think that's also why I'm a bit rusty. So, side notes, tip you can get from this, get into a set record schedule, which I actually was in. I used to record every Tuesday, but exams came. I'm done exams now, but exams got me a bit out of the schedule. So boys, it's recently occurred to me that we've actually been doing self-improvement completely wrong. This is a bit of an unusual video from me coming from someone who's quite deep into the self-improvement space. But I want you to just think about this for a bit. You'll probably be optimizing like your sleep schedule, your like general day-to-day schedule. I don't like that stutter. So boys, it's recently occurred to me that we've been doing self-improvement completely wrong. And this is a bit of an unusual video coming from me who's quite deep into the self-improvement space. But I want you to just think about all of this for a bit. You're probably optimizing your schedule, so like your sleep schedule. You're optimizing your like productivity, your day-to-day plans. And you're also then optimizing your diets. You're optimizing every area of your life. And frankly, I think that is brilliant. It's stuff I follow myself. But I want you to think about this scenario for a bit. You have this very intelligent guy in your class. He's getting the top grades, aces every exam. But what do you imagine he's doing? Do you think he's going home and like putting together this perfect schedule, perfect diet, all of that? Very unlikely. He probably just has his mind fixated on becoming the top student, becoming the guy who gets the top grades. Not to toot my own horn, but I was literally that guy in my high school days. I didn't have any schedule or anything like that. I just had my mind fixated on becoming the top student. So what does this mean for us now on our self-development journeys? That means we mustn't be focusing on the schedules and all of that. We should rather be focusing on becoming the best man we possibly can, the fittest man we possibly can, the strongest man we possibly can, and the most successful, the highest earning man we possibly can. And in doing that, we are naturally going to follow on with all of these schedules that we deem to be necessary. But I think what the trap we fall into, at least the trap I've fallen into recently, is I'm optimizing the schedule or the routine rather than optimizing the results. So like, yeah, fair, I've been achieving decent bit of success, but I know it's not anywhere near my like ceiling of potential. And it's for the simple fact that I've been focusing on optimizing the wrong thing. I haven't been optimizing the results, I've been optimizing the schedule. So I advise you to like look at the schedule and say, okay, well, this is nice, but this is just a vague outline of what I need to be doing. Instead say, hey, in any given moment, I need to be fixated. Say you have a goal of making 10K a month, that's a common goal, 10K dollars a month. Do you think you stare at your schedule the whole day is going to help you with that? No. Instead, literally sitting down and doing the work. That's going to, and I know I'm going to sound like a very obvious advice here, but I know a lot of guys, like I have this like Discord server where I speak to guys one-on-one. And I know it's just me. A lot of guys are falling into this trap of optimizing the schedule rather than optimizing the results. Now, there are other things I do want to talk about, like that I think self-development is wrong with, but I do think that this is the starting point to fix. Deeper stuff that I do want to talk about now. I know a lot of people aren't going to want to click away at this point, but I advise you to stay. You need to deepen your connection with God. I'm not going to tell you what religion to choose and all of that. That's not my place. Do your research. I've chosen Christianity after doing my research, but I'm not going to sway your decision too much on that. But once you've made your decision on that, genuinely deepen your connection. I've spoken about this before, but it clarifies your purpose, clarifies your mission, it gives you a lot more ambition, and it genuinely just gives you this deeper meaning, this deeper support, this deeper belief of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. It just gives you this deeper foundation to work from. I often speak about this as well. I believe, whether Christian or not, you probably agree that if you hear of the way Jesus lived his life, he was a virtuous man. I'm not going to get into the Christian findings of it, but he was a virtuous man. You would agree with that. Now, that's the sort of man that we would want to live up to be. And I also do think that by us now focusing on optimizing the schedule, optimizing X, Y, and Z, sure, we can become that sort of man, but we're focusing on the wrong thing. We're making the schedule the starting point rather than the end point, if that's making sense to you. We are instead making the schedule so that we can get like the satisfaction. Wow, I said that word was sounded wrong. Right. Anyway, satisfaction of achieving the goal, of getting the feeling of achieving the goal. But we're doing it backwards. I'm going to make a deeper video on this, but I know this is a topic that a lot of men wouldn't really come to grips with right now. But I hope over me making a few more videos, like clarifying what I'm trying to get to here, really does sink in with some men. But with that said, bros, I'll see you in the next one to become a better man. Alright. Let's see, there's one person inside. I have no idea how to check the chat. I'm sorry, I'm a noob with live streaming. But if you are here, welcome. Thanks for coming along. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea how to check the chat. I apologize, boys. Okay, I'm gonna get into the next video. Let's see what's happening. Actually, a video I do want to talk about, so I'm gonna make a video on it now. But I'm 22 and it's hit me that ideally I want to have my own house, like not on any bond or anything like that, literally my own place that's mine, by the age of 25. And I'm far off that financial goal at the moment, and it just like hit me. There's probably a lot of guys in the same boat as me. So I want to make a video just discussing that side of life, because that's kind of intense to think about. Anyway, let's dive into that. As I said, for the new viewer, I tend to come along with my videos and do a lot of takes before I do my initial ones, so don't mind me. I'm going to be going through my usual routines here. So if you're anywhere between the ages of, I would say, like 16 to 25, you probably realize that you're going to be buying a house very soon. And that's quite a daunting thought to think about. Like, I don't know about you, but I have nowhere near enough money for that. So I just want to talk you through like my thought process and what I'm planning to do about it, and hopefully this gives you some inspiration. You can also comment down below if like you've been in a similar boat to me and been thinking about things as well. But essentially, you need to find ways to make money, because you don't want to be buying a house on debt. If you looked at it, I saw in America, I think it was, but 92% of people are buying their first home on debt. So that means you get a bond, the bank pays for your house, and you basically repay the bank over 20 years. But obviously that's attracting interest and you're just losing money. And I mean, sure, fair enough, that can be a nice backup option. But you don't want it to be your primary option. So you need to find some way somehow, and believe me, it's going to be hard, but you need to find somehow to have enough money so you can buy your first house cash. There is one exception to that rule, and I'm going to dive into that in a few moments, but just imagine all the work you put in. And that's genuinely what's keeping me so motivated to keep this YouTube channel going. As I often say in my videos, I'm doing like freelancing on the side as a video editor, I do freelance as a programmer as well, and I'm a university student, so I really have my schedule packed. But it's for the simple fact, I want to have a house at 25 and speak about the shouts I want to start as well. And that's intense. I'm 22 now, so actually 22 and a half to be precise. So I have 2.5 years to figure that out. And I'm far off the goal. So what I was talking about just now, about the whole idea of there is an exception to when, like even if you have the money to buy the house cash, you shouldn't. In South Africa, at least where I'm from, I can put money in a fixed deposit at 11% interest. Now there are some exceptional circumstances that's not like the norm, but there are circumstances where you can buy a house at 9% interest. So in that circumstance, you're paying the bank 9% interest, but you get 11% interest back through your fixed deposits. So in that scenario, fair enough, you're making 2% interest profit. So there you can get a bond, but obviously that is an exceptional circumstance, I really mean that. So what I'm trying to say is you need money in the bank. I don't know what it would be like in other countries, but I know in South Africa, where I'm from, that means I need round about 1.5 to 2 million at least right now in the bank. And that's not even talking about like day-to-day expenses, having like a nice car and all of that. That's just pure savings. And that's quite a daunting thought. Like I keep saying that, and it's just because this reality is hitting me more and more. Now, yeah, you can be going down the normal paths and getting a bond and all of that. And look, you are going to pay back that bond. Like my father's currently paying off the bond for our place as well. But you don't want to be carrying that burden into your 50s, into your 60s. You want to be proud of yourself when you're sitting at 15, 16 and say, hey, I've bought this house cash. I can continue buying houses cash because once you have your first house, you can just sell that house, get the cash for that, buy the new house, and so you carry on. So the starting point of this whole household thing is really in the first house. So there's no better time than now to buy that house or start saving up to buy that house. I think it really should be a goal for us to have our first house by 25 or younger. Honestly, the younger the better. But it's going to require a lot of work. But take this as your motivation to put in the work to that point. It's going to be daunting, it's going to be rough. But on self-development, we have the motivation, we have the ambition. Mine's what directed to these sort of causes. Do comment down below if you have things that you did. Help me out perhaps, but also help other men watch my YouTube videos, YouTube channel in general. Also, if I remember, I often forget these things. But I'll link down my my Discord servers in the description. We have some interesting discussions over there as well. But with that said, boys, I'll see you in the next one. It's becoming a bit about. Whoever's here in the chat, boys, I really apologize. I can't see what you said. I'll be back in a bit. Actually, I'm just going to send my woman a quick message. Apologies for the disconnects. Every now and then I have to pick, because it's my primary phone, I have to reply to messages and all of that. But I am back for a bit. Let's get back into the next one. 3 videos down. I have, let's see, 3 hours left here. Yeah, I'm going to do a decent bit today. Yeah, so I actually want to make a 2-part series of videos now, discussing how I lost weight, because some of you guys might know this, I speak about this every now and then. But I used to weigh 120 kilograms, I'm now at 80 kilograms, and not most, but a lot of what I have now is muscle mass rather than like fat. I'm probably like, not precise, but like 16 to 17% body fat now, so it's not too low, but not too high either. But there was a point where I was like at 30%, so I want to just discuss weight loss journey, weight loss supplements, all of that, because weight loss supplements are a scam, by the way, but separate topic. I'll be diving that into the video now. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Also then want to make a video about like the religion side of things. Then I have a guy on my Discord server, he'll probably be actually coming to this live stream now. He tends to be quite a loyal fan of mine, so I appreciate you, bro. But he wants me to make like a 2-part additional stuff to my Looks Maxing series. So as a loyal fan, I really should do that for him. So yeah, I'll be getting around to that, just to show you what's upcoming. So a lot of you guys wouldn't know this, but I used to weigh 120 kilograms. I now weigh 80 kilograms, and a lot of it is like muscle mass and all that. I'm round about, not precise, but 16% body fat. I used to be like 30% body fat though. So What I want to talk about is weight loss shakes is really a scam if you think about it. And what's like got me thinking about this whole thing, I've never taken like any weight loss supplements. But my mom is also now looking to lose some weight. So her and I will have a discussion about like how I lost weight and all that. And I will be talking about that in one of the videos coming out on my channel quite soon. Actually, no, I'll post it. Yeah, don't like that. This is what I'm talking about. Shakes. Really isn't smooth in the background. You've seen that enough output. Yeah. So a lot of you guys wouldn't know this, but I used to weigh 120 kilograms. I was around about like 28, 29% body fat, and I was clinically obese. Round about now I'm like 16% body fat, maybe closer to 17%. But I weigh just under 80 kilograms, and I'm pretty healthy now. So I want to talk you through the fact that weight loss supplements or weight loss shakes in particular now, these are just big scams. I've never taken them myself, but I was having a discussion with my mom the other day, and she was like asking me how I lost weight and all that because she's looking to do the same herself. And it just occurred to me that the whole weight loss industry is largely a scam. And why I'm saying this? In essence, I'm going to make an in-depth video that will actually be released before this on how I lost weight and like the whole science behind it and the practical steps you can do. But in a nutshell, you just need to be in a caloric deficit. You've heard this before. But by having a weight loss supplement, increasing your calories. So it's like someone who say now if you have a budget of $2,000, and for you to lose weight, you need to be expending $1,500 or less. But now, by you having weight loss supplements, weight loss shakes, you're just increasing your expenditure. That doesn't make sense. So like the only time the shake would be useful is if it's a full-on meal replacement. But even then, unless I'm missing something, but why would you have this shake rather than just like having a fruit? Have like a nice apple, have a naartjie, you guys probably don't know what naartjie is on. It's basically a nectarine. It's something we have in South Africa, but yeah. So this is my quick rant on that. And my whole thing is, if you look at any industry, people are just trying to make money, and that's fine. That's how society has been built up. But that doesn't mean you must fall like victim to the money-making schemes. So don't go ahead and buy these weight loss products like, oh, okay, that's going to help you lose weight. Oh, it's not. You don't need that to help you lose weight, and if anything, it's probably going to make you gain weight. So just my ramblings. Going to make a video, or would already be my channel by the time I release this one, where I discuss how I lost weight myself. But with that said, I'll see you in the next one. To become a better man, or if you're a woman watching this, become a better woman. My channel is more directed to men, but I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, the viewer left, that sucks. I'm all lonely now. Okay. Let's see this one. It's kind of chilly today as well. Just checking this quickly. My hands are all up in your face again, I apologize. Okay, sweets. So most people wouldn't know this, or frankly wouldn't even believe it. But I used to weigh 120 kilograms. I was full on obese, and I was like 28 to 29% body fat. To give you context, I'm just under 6 foot, I'm 5'11", and I weigh precisely 78 to 79 kilograms. Back then, same height, but 120 kilograms. Now, to discuss how I lost weight. Simple. Caloric deficit. You've heard this before, but I want to guide you like on a proper approach on how you go about it. A lot of guys are like, oh yeah, go on a caloric deficit. It isn't that simple because of like some other variables at play. So number one, yes, you need to go on a caloric deficit. Okay, no, don't like that explanation. Let's do it this way. So a lot of people wouldn't know this, nor would they really believe it, but I'll put up like a picture now so you can see it. I used to weigh 120 kilograms. I'm around about 6 feet tall, I'm like 5'11". It's rough out here. So a lot of people wouldn't know this, or frankly, even believe it. But I used to weigh around about 120 kilograms. For context, I am 80 kilograms now. I am 6 foot tall. Even when I was 120 kilograms, I was 6 foot tall. I used to be around about 28 to 29, body fat percentage up 16% now. So there's been a quick and proper, not quick. Man, why am I getting this wrong, bro? Today's one of those days. I promise I'm not always this bad, but it's actually great that I'm being this bad today because then you get used to that. It's really not smooth sometimes. So I used to weigh, So a lot of people wouldn't believe this. So a lot of you guys, say you guys. Yeah, actually side note, don't ever say you guys, it makes the viewers think it's less personal. Something I picked up over time, don't worry about it too much though. So you probably wouldn't believe this. So you probably don't know this. Nah. Okay, cool. So you probably don't know this, and frankly, you probably don't even believe it. But I used to be 120 kilograms. For context, I'm around 80 kilograms now. I was 6 foot then, I'm still 6 foot now. So yeah, I've lost 40 kilograms at the same height. And even now, I put on like muscle mass and all that. So without my muscle mass, I'm probably 70 to even like 65 kilograms. So I want to discuss with you how I went about this process. And yes, it is caloric deficit. You guys heard this before. But I want to dive into like the finer details of it because, yeah, you can say caloric deficit as a nice blanket statement, but there's more details that need to go into it. So, as an utmost starting point, I want to give you this quick analogy. Imagine you have $2,000 to spend, but you only lose weight if you spend $1,500. If you spend anything between $1,500 to $2,000, you just stay where you are. And if you spend more than $2,000, so like you go into debt, then you gain weight. So now, on a daily basis, keep this in mind. Forget cheat days and all of that. I'm going to discuss why cheat days are just stupid, but I'm going to get into that just now. Always aim to be $1,500 or less spent. So that's the starting point. But a lot of people now get demotivated with this approach. I was one of them. You'll notice that for whatever reason, I don't know the exact science behind it, but for the first month or so, you don't lose much or any weight. In some cases, you even gain. If I recall correctly, I gained, despite being in a deficit. And that's normal. I've checked up online, it's normal. It happened to me, it will probably happen to you too. Don't stress about it. Just don't lose motivation and be like, oh man, I'm gaining weight now, time to give up. No, don't do anything of that. Remember, the weight loss thing, I mean, reality is you probably need about 4 to 5 months to get like your weight loss goals on track. So if the first one doesn't go the way you expect it to, why does it matter? You still have another 4 to 5 months left. So that's the starting basis that I wanted to talk about. Yes, set your foundation. Now the nitty gritty. Download this app called MyFitnessPal. If I remember, I'll link it down below. Probably would link it down below. I'm not affiliated to them, but that's just what I use. If you don't like the app, you'll find like similar apps where you can just track your calories for the day. For now, don't worry about like eating healthy and all of that. That's a later step, and I won't dive into that in a bit. But for now, just focus on the fact that you need to be in a caloric deficit. Cool? Got that down. Now, when it goes into exercising, you don't have to exercise. Frankly, when I lost weight, I didn't do any exercises. But it would help you out, so I do recommend that you do, even though I didn't do it myself. Now, cardio in general would be what's best. You see, again, going back to your budget analogy for a second. Say your budget, as I put it earlier, was $1,500. But now if you work out and do some cardio for an hour, you increase your budget to $1,600, $1,700, thereabouts. The app will calculate it for you, by the way. So now, you can eat more, which feels great, but doesn't mean you have to. So just bear that in mind. So see the budget analogy again as savings. The more you save, the more weight you can lose. So that's a nice analogy to make it more relatable to you. Now going into the thing of cheat meals, and why I'm saying cheat meals are stupid. Some people, fair enough, it might help motivate them, so your mileage may vary, but for me personally, and what I just plain recommend for you, imagine this now. You have this really smart kid, he studies for the exam, he aces the exam, and he gets top of his class. But I was like, oh yeah, guys, I finished top of my class, let me grab a hammer and hit my head. I know it sounds stupid, but like, why would you do that? You wouldn't do that, right? So why are you having cheat meals because you started losing weight? You're just going to gain back everything you lost. It doesn't make sense. Now if you're strategic with it and you're like, fair enough, have a cheat meal once a month, that's not going to really make a difference. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't quite recommend it either, because then you can start like a vicious cycle of just having a lot of cheat meals. But if you are disciplined and stick to a once or even twice a month, that's fine. Then, fair enough, have your cheat meals. But beyond that, forget the cheat meals. Now going into healthy eating. As I said, don't worry about this for the first 4, 5, 6 months. After that, yeah, look into stuff that's healthy. So what I do personally, starting point, don't cook anything in oil. So any vegetable oil, omit that. Olive oil is fine. That aside, don't cook oil. Now, what I use to replace oil is butter. Every now and then I use ghee as well. Both of those are fine. Ghee is a bit more pricey in my country, but I've seen the price varies across the world. If you can get both of them at the same price, I personally actually recommend the ghee. But it comes down to your personal preference, all of that. They more or less equally healthy, but ghee is slightly healthier, but has a bit of a downside on the taste, so that you can figure out for yourself. Then fruits and veg, have a few of those. I think it's a bit overrated on the food pyramids. I'm going to sound like a crazy man for that, though, but still have your fruit, but don't focus on that too much. You do want to get a decent bit of meat in. Just check your blood work and all that after doing any major diet changes. So what works for me might not work for you, so I always do recommend that you do blood work. So like check your cholesterol, check your sugar, check whatever you deem to be necessary, even like your thyroid and all of that. But yeah, I think this has given you a nice introduction to weight loss. Genuinely, I don't mind if you comment down below. I will guide you further if there's anything that's unclear here. I also have a Discord server. You can join that. I'll link it down below. You can discuss things with me one-on-one. I do this sort of thing for free, so literally won't charge you anything. But with that said, bro, I'll see you in the next one. It's become me a bit man. Alright, so I'm going to end the live stream there. I'm still going to be recording, but I believe that was my 5th video. I still need to do at least another 7. That my target for today was a minimum of 12. But I think you get a good idea of the process behind this. I'll see you in the next one, boys. Let's close.